Hi, I'm Sarah Vickers-Webb with Santa Cruz Tech Beat, and I'm here with Joss Metz, who is the co-founder, of the Monterey Bay Drone Automation and Robotics Technology, which is people often refer to as DART, and also the executive officer at the Fort Ord Reuse Authority. So Josh, could you explain how those two organizations are related?
Yeah, thanks, Sarah. First of all, thanks to you and the Santa Cruz Tech Beat for keeping all of this news fresh and in front of people. I know that we've had a number of stories with the Tech Beat over the couple years we've been doing the DART initiative. So glad to be engaged here. So yeah, you mentioned that I've got two roles, and my day job, especially these days, is leading the transition and soon to be conclusion of the Fort Ord Reuse Authority, which has been a 25-year, very complex redevelopment process down at Fort Ord, which for those who might not be as familiar, it's located between the cities of Marina and Monterey and Salinas, right before you get onto the Monterey Peninsula. It's a 45 square mile area that was the home of the Fort Ord Army Base and was an infantry training site for about 100 years, and was closed in 1994 and has been undergoing a major transition since then to civilian use. So it's all oriented around educational centers. So CSU Monterey Bay is the centerpiece for this emerging new scene over there. Also, University of California has a significant chunk of property near the Marina Airport. And Monterey Peninsula College is there with a new campus, Monterey College of Law, some other colleges and educational centers. And then new communities, new housing is being built around there. So there's upwards of 6,000 new housing units that are will eventually be built down there. I think there's about 3,000 that are entitled right now.
Wow, that's a lot.
So it's a big project, and it's coming to its end of its legislatively mandated mission in June. So that's kind of a big cultural shift in how that department will proceed. But I am also, and really through the work that I've done with FORA, Fort Ord Reuse Authority, is often referred to as FORA, we came up with this, the FORA board created an economic development program back in 2015. And at that time, I was working at FORA as a planner and with a background in the private sector and some entrepreneurial activities. I threw my hat in the ring for this job and was lucky enough to be promoted to an economic development position. And it was through that work over a period of 4 years that I connected with a local entrepreneur, a guy named Chris Bly, who was a founder of a number of companies around here, including Rope Partner. And he and I got together in 2017 and went after a federal a grant program or a special designation through the FAA to establish sort of a drone testing and development center at the Marina Airport. And the Marina Airport is now located within the boundaries of the city of Marina. It was historically a military helicopter training facility and was left when the Army departed in '94. So we went after that, took us back and forth across country a couple times and chasing down support. We built a nice coalition of people that were of institutions around here that were engaged, including UCSC, Naval Postgraduate School, and CSUMB, among others. And while we were unsuccessful in getting the designation for the airport, we did end up with this coalition. And the message we heard from the FAA was, don't stop your vision, keep going. So we kind of got back together after that was spring of 2018 and kind of retooled our mission, came up with this idea of the Monterey Bay DART initiative. And that is really about building a community to facilitate the growth of a center of excellence dealing with these interconnected technologies that have application to, our leading economic drivers and things like agriculture and higher education, national defense, and infrastructure, and other things that are really happening around this region.
All right. All right. Well, thank you for telling that story. That's very interesting.
Long story.
No, but it's historical. I mean, it's gone on for a long time. So
Yeah.
So I know the annual DART Symposium is planned for June 25th to 26th, and I hear that it's being reorganized to be entirely online. Is that correct?
Yeah, so, like everybody, we're adapting to the new world here, thus our Zoom call. We had planned a pretty substantial expansion of this event, which the first event we put together was, or big event, was this DART Symposium, which we held last June, so about the same time. And if you haven't seen it, you can go online to montereybaydart.org, and there's a little highlights video that we have that shows what happened last year. We're going to kind of reprise that. We have one of the things that's happened is we established this really great partnership with the UC Ag and Natural Resource Division, which is a separate division of University of California, separate from the campuses, and they field cooperative extension specialists around the state, and are focused on, improving natural resource and ag management. Mm-hmm. And so they have a program called Drone Camp, which is basically training researchers and educators and agency people on drone best practices for mapping and data collection and management. And so last year they came down here and did a 3 or 4 day event in conjunction with a symposium that we put on. And so they're all set up to come back here this year again, and with the closures of the campuses and all the stay-at-home orders, they've moved their whole thing online. And just yesterday, I think there was an announcement sent out about how people could participate in that. What we've done in terms of the symposium is taken a little bit longer to respond, I would say. We are, and that's what kind of having a 2-step approach to our what we're doing. So the first is we are going to do a short, about an hour-long segment with Drone Camp on Thursday, June 25th, which will include some pre-recorded material with the different entities and experts who we've engaged with, and entrepreneurs, and some video segments. And then really that will be, it'll be paired with some real-time presence for a few of us from the DART board, we call that, the members of the board of DART. It's a nonprofit organization. And then the plan is to build a more significant program for the fall. And that would be the week of October 19th, about a 4 or 5 day program that will focus on the DART technologies and COVID adjustment or COVID recovery is the way we like to do it.
Interesting.
So really, we want to, take the time to really see how things are settling out, playing out, what's happening. As I'm sure it's so hard to predict how it's going to be even next week. And
this Friday even.
Yeah, so with all the changes, we decided to give it a little longer to mature and see what is really coming about, and then try to set up a program that's going to really set a path, help set a path forward for recovery, because it's going to be so critical.
Wow, that's really interesting. Well, that leads a little bit into my next question, which is, so we've noticed a lot of businesses have been pivoting during the pandemic to help meet consumer need and provide support to the healthcare industry, for example, among a lot of other things people have been doing. Have any businesses associated with DART done anything along these lines?
Yeah, in fact, there's some great examples of that. The two that come to mind easiest are Joby Aviation,
Mm-hmm.
which, as you know, are in the process of putting up and establishing a manufacturing facility at the Marina Airport.
Mm-hmm.
And so they, as you probably know, have done a few things, including the production of personal protective equipment using their additive manufacturing capabilities that they have established there. And also, pretty significantly, there's a part of their development is a 55,000 square foot airplane hangar, it's called, or it's like a big tent.
Heard it called a mega tent.
Mega tent that will be a prototype manufacturing line. And that was kind of just getting underway, construction, when all of the stay-at-home orders were in place. So they stepped forward in collaboration with the city of Marina and the county of Monterey and have basically offered that site as a as-needed expansion site for COVID patients, if that was a need that were to come up. The county was looking for those facilities, and it provided a way to keep the construction going and meet a potential critical need that the community has. So those are two great examples. And the third is a startup, Parallel Flight Technologies, that operates down at the Monterey Bay Academy.
Mm-hmm.
And they also started doing additive manufactured personal protective equipment. So those are two examples, I think, of, I know there's lots of stuff happening throughout the community in the region, so they're just great examples.
Yeah, thank you for those. So no, I know I've heard about Parallel Flight Technologies. Actually, just today I heard about it.
Yeah, you ought to get Joshua Resnick on one of these.
Yeah,
Zoom
that'd be great.
calls.
Yeah. So, and then how do you see, because I know you're going to be focusing on this, it sounds like, in the fall meetings, how do you see the pandemic affecting the future of drone technology?
Well, I think there's, as a remote operated technology, drones, have some potential benefits for meeting needs that, are now emerging with people being limited in terms of how they can get together. So I think that'll probably be a factor, whether it's delivery approaches or use and kind of monitoring and disaster response, things like that. We use the term DART and drones, and certainly drones are kind of unmanned aerial systems generally, but kind of the broader category of autonomous vehicles and electrification, power systems, and robotics, intelligent machines. That's a broad field, and so I think whether it's directly meeting human needs through kind of this delivery or monitoring approach, or it's something like meeting the needs of agriculture, who will have continuing need for manual operations in the field, and the need to keep the farm workers safe and separated means there could be some reduced capacity there. So if robotics and machines can support the continued supply of food at efficient prices, that's critical stuff. So I think it will hopefully provide a focus and a way to just advance these technologies faster. And I think the Monterey Bay region has great potential as a home for a center of excellence in this area.
Yeah, well, I'm looking forward to hearing about all that in the fall. Um, so one last question, could you tell me something about DART and the members during the pandemic that's made you really proud that this has been going on?
I think, the stories of Joby are particularly noteworthy, and Parallel Flight. I mean, those guys jumped right into it, and they've been very proactive. And I think that kind of action speaks to the quality of the organizations, the people, their interest in joining together and solving this incredible problem that we all are wrestling with. And so, yeah, I mean, simply, viewing from the sidelines and being able to call those companies, part of the ecosystem, while I think it just speaks to that fact of quality leadership, quality people, the character of the region, and so yeah, that's definitely noteworthy.
Well, thank you so much for taking time to talk to me.
Yeah,
It's been really great hearing about Santa Cruz, the companies coming together and helping during this time has been extremely inspiring to me.
yeah, yeah.
Um, so thank you so much. And we'll look forward to the drone symposium on the June 25th.
All right. Thanks a lot, Sarah.
All
Yeah, and
right.
anyone wanting more information can just go to our website, and we're happy to hear from folks and look forward to seeing all this develop. Thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.